Here we are with another Facebook Live, July 17th, is it? 2024. Let's see if the sound check's working here. Uh, yep, looks like it's working great. All right, so here we are. Another beautiful day in the greater TO, sunshine. After all that water pour that we had for the last few days, it was incredible. The streets were all rivers. Never had so much water, so much flooding. Power was out downtown Toronto for a while. It's haven't had that much water in a long time. Pretty interesting what's going on around the world with all these psychopaths doing crazy things with the weather and so on. We will see where it takes us. We'll see where it takes us, but we're here in this little realm. Some of us want to get healthy, feel a little bit better instead of being in pain, misery, and suffering. A lot of us have experienced that, and some of us are still experiencing that. So, we use the divine plan, I call it, fasting. So all animals use the fasting state to heal themselves, and whether they're injured or sick, that's what they use. And if they don't heal, they get eaten or they die, right? This is the way it works. But some amazing, wonderful stories. We have Salome, the tennis player, who shared a wonderful story of her cat. And she brought it to the vet, and her post is somewhere in the Facebook group. And if I recall, the vet said, we might as well put it down. There's nothing we can do. And she said, well, you know what? I'll just take it home and let nature take its course. So as soon as she got home, the cat ran in the closet and never came out for it. This was like 2 months, something like that. Said the cat didn't drink, didn't eat, and came out skin and bones. And she still had the cat at the time she made the post. This was several years ago. I don't know if she still has the cat. I gotta ask her. But it's amazing. Just what do we need to do? We need to get in that state of nothingness and just trust. This we as mankind, we've come to a point that we're in a very, very obstructive state with these obstructions that are not recognized in nature. There's a lot of synthetic stuff, and the body accumulates and accumulates and accumulates over time because it doesn't recognize this stuff, and that's why it accumulates it and stores it mostly in the fat cells. And then we come to a point where we're overwhelmed and we're uh, we're taken over by the toxicity and poisons, and we cease to function. Something gives out, an organ gives out, and it's because of these heavy duty obstructions that we have been accumulating over our lifetime. And also, we take it on through our parents. We take on some of that. And of course, the number one is emotions from our ancestral and so on and so forth. So, um, how do we dump that stuff? The only way I found is fasting. People make all kinds of claims, take this and take that, and your body will get rid of it. I've seen very, very limited things happening with taking things. I have not seen any limitations through a fasting state, the body's capability of purging anything and everything that doesn't belong, physical, mental, emotional, it will start purging. And that's the beauty of the fasting state. There's nothing I've seen in my several decades of experiences. that comes close to, you can't even compare it to a fasting state. Let's put it that way. You can get some results, through taking herbs while you're eating and so on, but it's going to be limited. Fasting state, there's no limits. Everything's possible from the things we've seen and the experiences we've um, had ourselves and other people have shared. So, just make fasting a part of your lifestyle. That's all. In today's modern world, with all the bombardments of the salts we're being through the air, water, food, frequencies, and everything else, without a fasting regime in your lifestyle, we are like sitting ducks, just waiting till have something stop functioning or drop dead or whatever. So today, more than ever, it's more essential, I feel, than ever before. Like we're being bombarded all over the place. And what happened with the lockdown and being forced to being bombarded with toxicity, poisons, and so on and so forth. It just doesn't stop. And we're seeing the repercussions ongoing. It hasn't stopped. People getting sickness that we haven't seen in people in younger ages, people getting myocarditis and all kinds of things, just people dropping dead left, right, and center. Seen it in our families, seen it in our friends, and it's continuously happening. Sad thing is, you want to help people, mention it to them. If you've had any of that, it would be wise to remove it because that stuff will kill you pretty much. It's gonna cause something to stop functioning. And the thing is, most people are in denial. They don't want to know. That's what I've found. They just don't want to know. You get a very small percentage that will listen and maybe do something. And even a smaller percentage that will actually do something, right? And the ones who are sick, they're going out to the same people who gave them this stuff to solve their problem. I find it absolutely ridiculous and bizarre that you would trust a demonic system to help you, because that's what it is in my eyes. That's my opinion only. People can believe whatever they like, doing the same things, expecting different results. It's insanity, right? But you know, it was interesting, like all the videos that were being shared, and you could still see so many of them. Um, people were getting the thing and going into convulsions, blood pouring out, dropping dead, and there were still people lining up, taking it, witnessing that. I don't know. Is there anything working up here? Anyway, in this realm, we're here about solutions for anybody who's willing to choose to make the changes in their life. And we don't have all the answers, but the Masterclass protocol has helped so many people. And just a matter of deciding, doing whatever it takes, no matter how long it takes, you know, no matter what. Keeping that faith, because depending how much accumulation we have will result in more or less healing reactions, we call them, as the body's purging this stuff. And it's not fun going through those healing reactions. I don't call them healing crisis. I call healing crisis anything to do with the white jackets. When you're taking any of their stuff, those are healing crises. Healing reactions we call in this realm because it's the body's way intelligently doing what it needs to do to purge this stuff out. And yeah, we're going to go through pain. Yeah, physical, mental, emotional. We're going to feel like we're dying sometimes. Yeah. But once the release of this stuff is accomplished, just amazing what happens. Your energy levels and everything just immediately. Give yourself an enema and phew, everything's from night to day. And I've experienced that several times in all the fasting I've done over the years and experimenting and getting myself in trouble and then going back to fasting to help resolve. But yeah, this is what we do. Fasting state is such a pleasant state, peaceful state, you know, that we um, want to be in regularly if we want to be um, living in some kind of healthy lifestyle today. Health is not a cabinet full of medicine, of synthetic drugs and all that stuff. Healthy lifestyle will have uh, your house full of herbs, you know. And we in Massive as well, we have juice. We have juice stocked up. We have the teas, we have the tinctures, right? We have the plasma pudding, the charcoal clay psyllium. It's always stocked up here. And we choose to regularly get into a fasting state. You know, I don't share a lot about my fast anymore. Right now I'm in a fasted state, but I don't share a lot. I've shared enough. It's just, how much more do I need to share? We have tons of videos from the past of all the different extreme fasts, what people would call, that we went through and experienced. I call the white jacket system extreme. Everything they do is extreme. It's assault. Everything they do is an assault to the physical body, and miraculously, the body survives some of these things, and people come out of it and are able to heal. It's miraculous that that happens, but it does. It's because the designer made this physical body a walking miracle. And if we question that's the walking miracle, just look at what people do to their bodies every single day. Think about somebody who's eating fast foods, smoking, drinking alcohol, drinking coffee, and they can survive for decades. Isn't that amazing? It's a miracle. It's a miracle. These people, I've been there, choose to do everything that the body's not designed for, and it still functions for a while, and then, of course, it degrades, and then some people drop dead, but it's pretty miraculous how, it just boggles the mind, how, people can live for 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 years. But the ones who are, in the 80, 90, 100 years, if you go back to when they were born in a different era. They didn't live in this era we're living now. When they were born, they born in a much cleaner environment, much less chemicals, you know, cleaner air, better food. And then, so they were built on a stronger foundation than, coming from their parents and their grandparents, much stronger foundations. And we're seeing the weaknesses coming out now in the younger people like never before, diseases we've never seen before, so on and so forth. We're seeing the weaknesses of the young people like it's no tomorrow. Extreme kidney and adrenal weakness in people who are young now, extreme weakness. It's just sad, but the beauty is that we can clean up and strengthen our systems to rejuvenate and bring it back to what we call the perfect blueprint design. We have access to that perfect blueprint. Even though we weren't born perfect, we have access to it because Creator doesn't make mistakes. Man makes mistakes. Perfect blueprint is available for each and every one of us that are in this realm. And how do we know that? We've seen the miracles that happen. People that were born with crooked bones and started straightening out, fasting. Unbelievable, remarkable, amazing, and so on and so forth. Many, many other things. So, how far can we go? Well, everything's possible. More damage we have, more work it's going to take. So the sooner we decide to leave our old lifestyle behind and change towards balance, the better chance we have. But we must make that choice to continue for no matter what, no matter how long it takes. Just keep going, keep the faith, watch videos, keep reading, come to the understanding that what we're going through as we're going through healing reactions, it's just part of the journey. So what do? We use the tools. Hello, Diane. Hey, Marco. We use the tools to support us and get us through these difficult times. The tools are all the tools we use in Masterclass are for what? To help us purge. All the tools, unlock, stagnation, and purge. That's all the things we use in Masterclass. It's all about subtraction. There's nothing in addition that we look at for something's missing, we're deficient, none of that. We are all about the art of subtraction. Everything we do, we focus on the art of subtraction. And once that understanding starts to sink in and we start to experience what happens as we purge those obstructions, then the confidence gets built up and the faith, we get stronger and so on and so forth. So it's something that we need to work on over and over and over again as a lifestyle. People that do these long fasts, which we were, you know, um, promoting at the beginning, they're all fine and dandy, but we can't go back to our old ways. And this is what people didn't comprehend, a lot of people. And even though we kept repeating like a broken record, this is a lifestyle. That's just a start. But it's a too overwhelming change when people go on these long fasts. It's much too overwhelming because it's a complete drastic night and day transformation. And emotionally, we found that most of us are just not ready for that massive change. So, what's the best way to do it? Chip away. Choose one of the levels. Start on level 2, 3. Go for that for a few months. Move up to 3 to 5. Go with that for a few months. See how it is. Go up to level 7 for a week or two. Go back down to level 5. See how that feels, so that we can train ourselves and build ourselves up to fasting and breaking the fast over and over and over again, so that we can get that emotion used to that, because that's very important, because the emotion is what's going to drive us cuckoo if we go on these long fasts and we have no experience of fasting, you know. So yeah, it's just a matter of us self-educate. I don't even like to use the word education. Self-education. Self-educating ourselves on a fasting lifestyle, self-educating ourselves on, what's the um, best thing to consume for food when we choose to eat, because most of us are going to continue eating. So what should we eat? What's the best thing for us to eat when we choose to eat? And in my experience, nothing comes close to fruit. The fruit kingdom is easiest for the body to process and eliminate. There's nothing that comes close to fruit, not even the leafy greens. Leafy greens take at least a couple of hours to process and digest, minimum. Whereas fruit, you're half an hour to 1 hour processed, digested, done with it. So it's a big difference. And then you get into the heavier vegetables, takes even longer. Then you get into fats, most obstructive, animal products, even, you're in the 4 hours for digestion. Uh, some might take even longer depending on somebody's system. Everybody's different, right? If you get two people eat exactly the same every day for decades, you will see their waste will be different. Why? Because there's emotions involved. Emotions control physicality. Interesting. Not all, what do we talk about? We talk about the physicality is not the important thing. It's all about the fields. Why do we keep saying about it's all about the fields? Because it is all about the fields, emotions. It's all in the fields. And that's how we manifest the physicality. So you can have 10 people eating the exact same diet. Exactly. Every day they eat this exact same thing. No changes. They eat the exact same amount. They will have different waste, different outcomes coming. Interesting. But that's the way it is. That's why you have a gazillion diets out there. And everybody has claims for every single different diet out there. Every diet, there's claims that they were the best diets, right? Carnivores are the best. The vegans, they're the best. Cooked vegan, raw vegan is the best. Fruitarian is the best. Omnivore is the best. Keto is the best. You have that endless amounts of variations of diets, and everybody's claiming they're the best. How can that be? Well, maybe they're not interpreting it properly, because as my decades of experiences, there's no diet. All diets lead to death. Diet, they lead to death. So solutions are in fasting, not in diets. Diets, when we choose to eat, because in this realm, if you've done any reading and watched videos, you will know that we don't believe in nutrition, we don't believe in calories, we don't believe in minerals and vitamins and any of that stuff, because we work in the field state where your physicality can create all of those that it needs. Because where do fats come from? Let's for an example, from the plants, right? Where does the plant get those fats? How does it create those fats? Now, all fats come from seeds. Seeds, all oils from plants that come from the seeds. Some plants have some fat in them, like the avocado fruit has fat in the fruit. Olives have a little bit of fat. There's a few foods that have fats in the fruits themselves, but most of all the oils are coming from the seeds. Olives, that doesn't come from the fruit. The olive oil comes from the seed. Sunflower oil, castor oil. These are all coming from seeds, all the oils. So where do these plants get it from? They're creating it, aren't they? They're creating it from the air, from the soil, and from the elements in the soil. They're creating it. So why can't the physical body create it? Oh, we need to get it from the animal. Well, where's the animal getting it from? The animal's getting it from eating whatever plants it eats, right? Different animals, you know, have eat different diets, and they're able to create it through what they're eating. But no, humans say we need to get it from the animal kingdom, right? Or we need to get it from the plant kingdom, right? Or whatever. It's just saying that none of this makes any sense to me. That science is all full of holes. It's all theory. Because if plants are able to manufacture it, animals are able to manufacture it, why are we able to manufacture it? You have to start thinking there. So this is how my thought patterns went on for years and years and years. And then I just threw it all out and said, it's all bullcrap. To me, it's all bullcrap. It's all in the fields. It's all in the fields because when we go into a fasting state, we see the body correcting itself. Deficiency is going away on nothingness. Because what are we using? We're using tools to eliminate. We're not using anything to add. We're using tools only to focus on elimination. So the body's repairing itself and rejuvenating, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So if the science was correct, then that would not be possible. That's the way I look at it. People don't have to agree with me, but logic and common sense these days is far and few, you know, because of what we've experienced through the lockdown years and what I shared and so on and so forth. It's just sad, but mind control works. That's what we've experienced with the lockdown. Mind control works, and they've been using it for thousands of years. And now they're able to do it in the masses because of all the technologies to get the information and continuously bombard and to use other technologies that are not shared, HARP and all this other crap and cell phone towers and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They have all kinds of stuff that we don't even know about that are they're advanced in probably 40, 50 years, if not more, of what we see in technology and what they have in the secrecy is two different worlds. So, um, radiation, for example, people die of, exposed to radiation. People that are um, flying in planes all the time, they're being radiated, a lot. If you uh, if you look at people that have been in the airline business for a long time, um, they don't age very well, from what I've noticed. They're being radiated all the time. It's a lot of radiation up there. Or people who've been exposed to other forms of radiation in their line of work through war or whatever. But the miraculous thing is the body, we can purge that stuff out, even radiation. Yeah, we can purge it out. And tests they've done on, I don't know if it was mice or rats, I remember, showed that in a dry fasting state, the body does not take on the radiation like it does when we're eating. So it's pretty amazing. Body can purge everything. That's why I'm confident to say that fasting is the way. It's not through addition. There's no way addition is going to solve all these things the way fasting state does. So choose to fast regularly, you know, whether it's weekly, bi-weekly, every 3 weeks, once a month, make it part of your lifestyle. Anyway, I blabbed enough. Any questions, Rowan? Anybody else?
Gino, I've been thinking a lot about the um, Arnold Ehret's equation,
Yeah.
and I know you have too. And I was just wondering if you could just go on a little bit about that in detail.
V equals P, take away O. Vitality equals power, take away obstructions. Yeah, I remember the first time picking up that book, and I couldn't put it down. I read the whole thing that night. Then I read it several other times, and that V equals P, take away O, it took it took me a long time, decades to really I get experience that formula. I don't think he even had the full knowledge of what that formula that he discovered is, because he never talked about dry fasting, but he talked about if you the less you drink during a fast, the more aggressive the fast. So he knew that, but he did not go into the realm of dry fasting. Otherwise, he would have wrote about it, right? So he didn't discover the dry fasting. So the dry fasting, when I started dry fasting, that's when that formula opened up to me. So that's what he was talking about. It's beyond his discovery. So that's why I say Arnold Harry, wonderful, amazing teacher, one of my first teachers for fasting. And we were able to go beyond his teachings with the discovery of dry fasting. It took me a long time. It's when did I start? 2014, 15, 2014, 15, started experimenting with the dry fasting. 14, I think, 2014, then 2015, I started sharing. So, that's what we're talking about when we go into the realm of the fields: vitality, takeaway, obstructions, art of subtraction. It's right there. Equals power, right? Vitality equals power, takeaway, obstructions. So this art of subtraction is in that formula. And to simplify it, when the body is overwhelmed with obstructions, the body has to use much more energy. Vitality goes way down. When the body purges out these obstructions, the body has to use way less energy. Vitality goes up. And that's what we discovered, especially in master fasting. And many, 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 many people have shared the same things that I've experienced, they experienced when they master fasting. So we continuously focus on the fields because it's all there. The art of subtraction is about accessing the fields. That's all it is. V equals P, take away O. That is the art of subtraction formula. That's all it is. And it's amazing that if you read the book, the how he died. To me, it sounds like murder, but that's another story. Because the guy who was with him said he was talking and he was ahead and he turned around and he's dead. Slipped and fall. Maybe. Doesn't sound like it to me, but that's another story. The information's in the Akashic records if anybody has access to it. Go look up how he really died. But that's the simplicity of that, Rowan. It's I don't know how much more I can explain of that. It's really that simple. Accessing the realm of the fields through the art of subtraction. That's all it is. And it took me decades to really understand that. You know, we had a basic understanding of what he meant, but to actually get into the experience of what he meant, it was a whole different story because it didn't happen until the dry fasting. Um, like we say in this realm, master fast is a glorified dry fast. Everything we do is to support the dry fasting state. It's not about drinking juice. We're drinking the juice to prepare for a dry fasting state. We're taking the herbs to prepare for the dry fasting state. And then we're in the dry fasting state. We're doing the things that we need to do in dry fast state. We're not just lying down in bed, right? We're moving, we're doing breath work, all the things, skin brushing, we're doing all that stuff. And then when we break the dry fasting state, very, very important, we following another regime for that. So everything is for the dry fasting state. We're cycling the dry fast daily, weekly, monthly, season change, daily, weekly, monthly, season change. And we're doing that over and over and over again. You know, that's what we want to get into a habit lifestyle of that regularly getting in those dry fasts. And if we're choosing to go eat heavy, we're not going to be having pleasant experiences with dry fasting. They don't mix. They just don't mix. The cleaner the GI tract, the more pleasant your dry fast, the more energy. Art of subtraction, we'll go back to that. Energy doesn't come from the physicality, the foods and all that stuff. The true energy, vitality comes from subtraction, accessing our divine creator through our soul. That's the way I see it. That's the way I've experienced it. And you know, some people are out there, I'm gonna become a breatharian or whatever. There's people who died believing they were breatharian and they died, right? Because they're just not prepared. They haven't prepared. The breatharian state, yeah, it's a possibility, absolutely. But that state, I like call it the state of plasma, the state of the realms. But it has to come to you, and the information will be available and you'll know you're ready. I was moving that direction pretty aggressively, and then life happened, right? My mother was not well and I had to take care of her for 6 years. And that was extremely life-changing, extremely life-changing, especially when they go into disabled state. Extremely life-changing. Diane knows what I'm talking about. She's gone through the same experience, and it puts a whole life-changing toll on the emotion. It's I would do it all over again in a second. Yeah. Yep, she answered, yep, yes. So, um, beautiful experience. But I've shared so many of my long dry fasts in the past, and you know, I have the videos are still up on those. It's it's amazing what you can access, the energy you can access on nothingness. It's just amazing. When I was building the basement, 45 days, I did pretty much on nothing. I think it was like 5 liters of juice. I had nothing else in 45 days. And I was doing heavy construction work with cement and tiles and stuff when I was doing that long dry, and it's just feeling amazing. And then you have things happen, right? Take care, mama, and um, emotions start playing, and you go in different directions. Life, life changes like that. How many people, get near-death experiences or big accidents or whatever, and then their whole life goals and everything changes. This is the way life is, right? It's always about change. Nothing stays the same. Stagnation is disease. We want changes continuously. We don't want to stay in a in a stale, stagnant state because then we get sick. So we want to continuously be changing, be exploring different things. You know, that's the way I see it. But not most people never agree with me. It's okay. But from all the miraculous healing that people have shared with us, master fasting, um, even people that have had miraculous transformations and rejuvenation and healing, some of those people turned on us. It was just incredible because the emotions take over and they blame everything after they start eating on on master fasting after they went through a tremendous miraculous transformation. It's just incredible, how we humans love to point fingers and three pointing back as we're pointing. This is life, I've only seen things as I've shared. I've only seen things getting worse and worse over the last, especially after the lockdown, with the state of mankind. It's just I wish I'm wrong, and we get a flip and change of state of mankind, moving in peace, balance, correct conduct. But look what's happening in the last few years: wars and this and that, and people getting sick and blind, cheating like never before, and it's crazy what's going on out there. It's the whole atmosphere of people changed after the lockdown. More aggressiveness in people. It's there's a few of the few that are always going to be in that peaceful, loving state, but it's changed. The psyche of mankind has changed. We took a wrong turn somewhere. I pray that we I'm always have that hope, and I pray continuously for change in mankind. Yeah, snap out of this dark state that we're in. Just the way people drive, just changed as well. Besides people dropping dead, driving as well. More accidents from that. Just interesting times we're in. We've all chosen, I believe, to be here in this times and experience this. So let's hold on to our horses real tight and enjoy the ride. It's interesting times. Interesting times. Any more questions, Rowan? Is that how you pronounce your name, Rowan?
Yes, it is. Thank you. No, I think that's all I have, Gino. I'm actually in a hotel right now. Tomorrow I catch a flight down to Costa Rica
Ah,
to
nice.
do a extended water fast down there. Um, but I've been working with your protocol for a little bit, and yeah, I'm excited to see the results of both, kind of how they differ. So,
Yeah, water fasting is a whole different ballgame. Some people believe in the water fasting. I'm not one of
hmm,
them. As you know, we don't even
yeah,
drink water in this realm, right?
yeah,
It's a different state, the dry fasting state versus a water fasting state. It's completely different.
hmm,
Do people get healing from water fast? Absolutely. People get healing from any time that we simplify our diets. So drinking water, you can call it part of a diet because you're only drinking water. So it gives the body a rest to some degree because it doesn't have to digest anything, it just has to process that water. And in that part of the world, they don't believe in enemas, they don't believe in herbs, they don't believe in any of that stuff, right? They it's water fasting is a much harder state than the master fasting state from my experience. Um, but it's if you've been living and loving it for a while, the water fasting state shouldn't be as hard on you as somebody who's never fasted. Uh, it's some strange stories of people water fasting without doing enemas can't release and stuff. And so it's be careful. I would still bring an enema bag no matter what anybody else says, you know, because same way you're drinking the water, it's only water going up the butt.
Mm.
No common sense that. No, we can't do enemas. To me, it's not no common sense.
Mhm.
If you've read Arnold Ehret's book, big advocate on enemas. Big advocate. That's where I learned about, doing enemas with fasting, right? I didn't, like the first enema was, my mother gave me my first enema when I was really young, because that's what they used to do they used to be sick as children, their parents would give them enema right away, fever, enema. That was normal. So that was my first enema from my mother. I can't remember how old I was very young. And then I read on Ernest's book, enema. I don't even know what the word was, right? Because I only knew it in Italian. So I had to look up the meaning. Oh, I know what that is. And away we go. Um, Best tool. I never travel without an enema bag. You know, when I'm eating, I try to let the bowels work on their own. Unless we're doing the mass fast hybrid, we're doing the windows of fasting and then small eating window. You're doing enemas as well. 'Cause some people just they just can't conceptualize not going any day without food. So that's what the mass fast hybrid is there for, and for children. And so, yeah. So, but yeah, and it was great. What makes the bowels work the best? Um, fasting. Fasting will give you super bowels when you continuously working on cleaning out. All the people who've done the 108 days back then, everybody came out with super bowels, meaning the bowels were stronger than ever when you start eating. Complete elimination, don't need no toilet paper. That's the way the bowels are supposed to work. They start eating obstructed again, and you'll see the function of the bowel and colon deteriorate over time when you start eating obstructive foods. Clean up, and the function is restored. Art of subtraction. Never about, never about consuming. Never. So water fasting, we're focusing on what? We're focusing on elimination. That's what water fasting is doing. It's not an aggressive solvent like the grape juice and the herbs to support the thing, but thousands of people, thousands, millions of people for water fasting, probably, since the beginning of time. Uh, but the master of all masters, Christ, they call him, was in the desert when he fasted. I don't believe he had water access for 40 days and 40 nights. Yeah, let us know.
I will.
How long are you planning?
It's 16 days on water and 5 days repeating, so not super long.
Good experience.
That's what I'm going for. Yeah,
Yeah, you should be able to do that.
yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Thanks, Gino.
All right. Thank you for joining.
You
Thank
bet.
everybody else. Have a good night, good day, wherever you are. We'll see you back on the page. Any questions, post them on the Facebook group or join us in the live calls. Send plaf to everybody out there, especially those in these, desperate need. And we'll see you soon. Ciao.